As an entrepreneur, as a high achiever, you most likely have people that are relying on you. People, whether it be in your business, your employees, your customers, we're at home, maybe you're a romantic partner, your children, friends, your community, they're relying on you and you are failing them. Tough talk. What's up, gang? This is Cletus Coffey, the founder of Be the Torch. And sometimes we got to have a little bit of tough talk. This is number 3 of the Power 5 in the foundation of personal culture. Now, number 3 is about people because obviously they are in our lives and they're looking to us to lead them. Now, the challenge is we're not doing it. You know how I know? Because you're not leading yourself. So if you're not able to lead yourself, you better believe that the people that rely on you, people that are looking for you to lead them, are not being led. You are failing them. And look, I understand you may say, "Hey, look, I'm a great boss. I'm a great business owner. I'm a great partner, a father, a mother, a friend." And I have no doubt that you are. And yet you are not leading those that you love, those that you care for, those that you want in your company. You're not leading them to the capacity that they need to be led because you're not leading yourself to the capacity that you need to be led. And this is hard. And this is, for a lot of us, this is a really tough thing to hear, but it's the truth. And if you were to sit down, and this is in personal culture, this is step number 1. If you were to sit down and really document the truth, you'd come to the same conclusion. Again, it doesn't mean you're a bad person or a bad human being or bad in your role. You're just not leading them to the capacity that you are meant to be lead. You're called to lead, and that they need to be led. So it's not like I need to go out and be a better partner. I need to go out and be a better boss. You need to be a better version of you. And by doing so, your people will benefit from that. Now, it's not that we close everyone off and we shut it down and we go in on ourselves in order to get this process accomplished. No. They're still part of the process. However, they got to be part of the process in a way that is in alignment with who you are and what you are trying to accomplish. Now, there's 2 parts to this. The first one is you need to have the people in your life, the relationships in your life that are going to be supportive of who you are authentically. But if you don't know authentically who you are, how can you expect them to support you authentically? So you have to get clear on it. You have to become it first. So this is my businesses and my programs are all called Be the Torch. You got to become the torch first before you expect or can ask someone to give love to you, to give support, to give meaning, to lay down their life to work for your company. You have to do it first. And the challenge is you're not doing it. And the second part is by doing so, you may find yourself in a situation where you are expanding in one area, and most likely it's in your business and your money. That's where your focus is. Whether you're making money or not, it does not matter. You're probably putting your focus there. And the challenge is when we put our focus in just one area, we expand there, the other parts become an anchor. And there's a couple things to that. The first is I've been there. I've been there where I've been so focused on business and so focused on making money that I forgot about the other elements of my life, thinking that, well, as long as if I could just make some money, then that'll solve my relationship issue. That'll solve my health issues. That'll solve the fact that I'm not as involved as I want to be. So I thought money could do that. And that's a hard lesson that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of high achievers like yourself have to learn, but it doesn't have to be that way. The other part is if we are not true to ourselves, that if we are not giving off a frequency, a high vibrating frequency of love and connection, support and vulnerability and authenticity, if we're not giving that off, we're not going to get that same frequency back. So if you are someone who's going to work after having an argument with your romantic partner, being in a fight, and there's toxicity and there's tension and there's anger, it's easy for us to want to point the fingers and say it's their fault. I don't like how they're treating me. Well, the thing about it is, in order for you to receive a different experience, you have to become something different first. And so what that means is if you are in a relationship, let's talk romantic relationship. You have a partner, you have a spouse, You are in a romantic relationship and it is disconnected. Maybe there is fighting and arguing and constant, consistent anger, there's toxicity, there's abuse, whatever it may be. You're going to work with that energy. And so you're walking in with the one thing you're focusing on with a low vibrating frequency. And now you want to expect to be your very best at the office? And you may be killing it right now, but you could be doing so much more if you weren't bringing that energy and giving off that frequency once you step into the office. So what that means is we can't wait until you finally make it or finally feel fulfilled in your career, your business, and your money before you address that issue. You have to address it now so that you can achieve the goals you want in business and in your relationship and in your life. So it's important to bring our relationships along with us through this process of growth. We cannot just say, all right, I need to expand in this area in my mindset, my personal growth, and getting the truth and leave everyone else behind. They're going to come with us. What that means is this whole personal culture, your relationships are front and center with you. All 5 areas are front and center. We're going to expand in all areas at the same time. So what that means is, number 1, it's your relationship with yourself. So you have to go in on getting to the truth, taking ownership and responsibility for it, and then being able to communicate that to those that you love. You may not like the response, and that's not of your concern. It's out of your control. You cannot control how they respond to how you are approaching things, but it requires for you to take an ownership process. You own it. You have to be vulnerable and be authentic. How they respond, you cannot control. As long as you're showing up as you, this is critical. This is how you grow. This is how that little pilot light, that little candle that's your fire in your belly grows to a full-blown torch, and you step into your power because you are unapologetic, because you are vulnerable, you are authentically yourself. And what are people going to say about that? If you own it, if you own the truth, what can they say? They're either going to be triggered by it, and that's their issue, or they're going to stand in their power and you're going to find your frequencies coming together and matching. So when it comes to the people in our lives, we have to bring them with us through this growth and this process. And that might mean daily connections with them. And it could be just something like, for example, in the morning, it's just a simple, quick text or a note or a handwritten note. My goodness, how far those go. They go a long way. A connection with someone. It could be your romantic partner. It could be with your children. It could be with some parents or siblings. Just a note to the relationships in your life, just that you're thinking of them. And, that it is something that you're recognizing them for something. Whatever, along those lines. We're keeping them along the process. When it comes to the office, those relationships there, it's time for you to be an example possibility. Now, what do I mean by that? We're asking our teams to come together and work together and trust one another. It starts with you. You have to show up and earn their trust. And the best way to do that is by showing up authentically as yourself, being open, being vulnerable, and telling the truth. Why? Because we want them to tell the truth. We want them to be authentically themselves. That's where our people thrive. When they are able to step into their true authenticity, show up as themselves, be themselves, that's where the greatest production and the greatest work is going to happen. Thus, your bottom line is going to grow. But they're not going to do it unless you show up that way. If you're showing up as, hey, I'm the CEO, I'm the owner, and you all need to get to work, and hey, you may not be that harsh, but there's just that the attitude and the culture of, I'm up here, you're down here, and we're leading from the top down, and I don't really care about you other than what's your quota? Are you hitting your numbers? I may give you a quick check-in like, hey, how are the kids? Just high level stuff. You want to create a thriving team? You got to go deep. You got to get connected to them, because the people that work for you, their personal lives affect your bottom line. So just like I come from a sports background, it's important when we go to battle in sport as a team, Trust has got to be there. I got to know that you have my back. And if I know what's going on for you, I know where you're at, where your mindset is at, then I know I can trust you. Your people are coming to the office and they're having challenges at home, in their relationships, with their children, in their health. And they're blocking that all out and they're coming here to work for you to expand in this one area. Well, when we expand in one area, it is going to snap back and it's going to be painful. It's going to be chaotic. There's going to be destruction. So we have to ensure that at the office, we are showing up authentically as ourselves. We are owning the truth. We are being vulnerable because it invites them to do the same thing. And the more you get to know about your people, what's really going on for them, then you can be a support for them from a place of power. It may just be holding space. It may be helping get creative on solutions to help them through with challenges that they're having. When you know where they're at and they know they can come to you and you'll have nothing but empathy, you'll have and you have an ear for them, that it's a safe place to connect and share. That's a win-win, absolute win-win. So our relationships are part of this process. They are requiring you to step into a leadership role. They're waiting for you to lead, but you're not leading yourself. So the solution is to start to go in on us and to lead ourselves first. That's leadership. Leadership means to go first. You have to go first and become the leader that your romantic partner is waiting for, that your employees are waiting for, that your children are waiting for, your customers are waiting for. You need to step into this role first. If you need help in supporting that, this channel is a great avenue. Subscribe to this channel so that you can get access to more of the content that we are putting out. And it comes obviously right to you when we push it out. If you're ready to take it to the next level is being part of Be the Torch and the program that we have for you all. So reaching out to us at Cletus Coffey on all social channels. You can go to BeTheTorch.com and reach out and get involved in our programs, because it's time for you to find fulfillment and happiness and to thrive in all areas of life, not just in the pressure to perform and produce on the scoreboard of life, to achieve and accomplish. It gets old, and it gets old really, really quickly. And it doesn't have to be that way. Life is beyond, especially here in the US, life is so much more than achieving and accomplishing on the scoreboard. Oh yes, we're going to do that. We're absolutely going to hit those numbers and get those marks. But they mean nothing if we do not have the relationships and the health and the psychology, the mindset. If we do not have a presence, a connection to a higher power. And that's what the personal culture and the Power 5 are all about. So this section is on people. Reach out to us, BeTheTorch.com, to be a part of our programs. We'd love to see you be part of this movement.